Perfect.
Oh,
Well,
sorry. Just one more thing. Everyone's muted on the call. If anyone has any questions, just use the raise, and then I'll just unmute you.
sure. What I'm actually going to do is it might be easier to add questions in the chat and I can cover them off later, but I'll go through some logistics
Right.
in a sec. So, um, welcome everyone. Good to have you with us. If you've had a chance to scan this QR code, amazing. Thanks, really appreciate it. If not, don't worry. Those of you watching the recording, by all means, if you want to scan that QR code, go right ahead. So thank you for joining us. We have just under an hour to get you up to speed with everything new from reMarkable. I'm going to spend the first 45 minutes taking you through a product presentation, and then I'll hand over to Sam, who's going to take you through some logistical stuff about installation in stores that will come from him. And then we might have some time at the very, very end to answer any final questions that you might have. So logistically, if you have got any questions, I've got quite a lot to cover off, so it's easier if you put your questions into chat, so I'm not having to start the presentation. Then at the end, I'll answer those questions, because 9 times out of 10, questions will be answered throughout the presentation, and it's just easier logistically for us to do it this way. So I want to introduce to you today the next reMarkable paper tablet. You've probably seen it on the news, online, that kind of stuff, and hopefully you're aware of what reMarkable are doing. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be on this call. So I'm going to introduce you to that in a sec, but let me just start with the agenda and what we're going to cover off, and then an introduction to me. So this is what we're going to cover in the next 40 minutes. So we'll do a quick recap on Meet reMarkable. Some of you will have worked with reMarkable and be very familiar with the brand already. If not, this will be your first opportunity to meet reMarkable and get a little bit of background into the company. We're going to talk about the benefits of paper, what's led us here today to talk about paper tablets. Then I'll introduce the new product, the reMarkable Paper Pro Move, give you a little bit of a hands-on demo that will enable you to do this in store if you're talking to people in store. How the product, not just the Paper Pro Move, but how reMarkable fits into people's workflows. Talk about Connect subscription, compare the products that are available in the lineup, look at bundles and accessories, and then finally, who reMarkable is for. Like I said, any questions that we might have, I'll hopefully answer them throughout the presentation, and if not, we'll have time at the end to cover them off. So a bit about me. So my name is Callum. I live in Scotland, so quite far away from you folks. But I have been in tech and tech training for 20 years. I've been working with reMarkable for the last 2 or 3 years, helped to launch reMarkable 2 into retail, reMarkable Paper Pro as a product, and then also with reMarkable Paper Pro Move. So I'll hopefully be able to answer your questions. If not, I'll note them all down on my reMarkable, and then I'll be able to come back and follow up with Felix and Sam with the answers to your questions after the training. So let's start off by meeting reMarkable. So if you are familiar with reMarkable, then this hopefully will not be new, but it really starts with paper. So paper is the ultimate tool for thinking. However, it's not always convenient in today's digital world. So reMarkable set out to create the world's first, the first paper tablet designed for reading, writing, and sketching. Since 2013, reMarkable has been on a mission to find a better way to keep notes organised and find a better way to bring the benefits of paper into a digital age. So reMarkable was founded in 2013 by Magnus. And after 3 years, the first product was launched. So the original reMarkable was launched in 2016. It was available to buy on reMarkable.com only. So there was a few years passed before the next product came out. So the reMarkable 2 launched in 2020. It was the first product that was launched into the retail space. So available not just on reMarkable.com, but also expanding to other countries and showing up in retail. Then In 2023, reMarkable launched the Type Folio, which was a super slim keyboard that fit into the Folio case, which enabled users to type directly on the product without noticeably carrying a separate keyboard. Then in 2024, reMarkable Paper Pro, which was the biggest launch that reMarkable have ever done, building on the already established user base, building the hardware, improving the software with additions like reMarkable Methods, which I'll talk about a little later, sent to Slack, and expanding device language availabilities as well. And now in 2025, we're now releasing our most portable device. So over the course of that journey, over 3 million devices have been sold. The company has grown to over 450 employees, and we're continuing to innovate and build on the success of the paper tablets. And reMarkable's vision and mission are super clear. So the vision is to empower our users with ways for better thinking through technology. And the mission is to create better paper for better thinking. So let's dive into all the ways reMarkable are delivering on this. And that starts by looking at the benefits of paper. So our life is filled with paper. From an early age, from childhood, we use paper for drawing. You know, if you're creating the next masterpiece to go on the fridge, then throughout school, we have different notebooks, textbooks, different classes, all require different things to be written down. Then after education, we might go into an office setting where there are printouts, contracts, all sorts of things that enable paper to be part of your day-to-day. But for some people, paper, it can be very stressful. You know, where have I written that down? I wrote it down somewhere. I'm not too sure where it is. Which notebook is it that I've written it in? That kind of thing. And for many people, pen and paper just feels outdated. It feels analog because we now are so used to working on computers and have AI to do things for us. However, alongside that technology, there's lots of distractions that come along with it. Things like notifications, messages, emails. You might be on the phone and somebody's phoning you. It can be quite stressful watching things like notifications, emails, things like that racking up. So what we've designed is to take those benefits of paper that bridge the gap, bringing all the things together, all the things that make paper so great, and making sure we can bring that along for the journey in this digital age. So how do we do that? And why would we do that? So one of the main benefits of handwriting is that it activates different parts of your brain and it changes the way that you process and remember information. When you write stuff down, you generally remember it better. Handwriting requires more mental effort than typing, helping solidify the information and keep making it easier for recalling later. And there's a reason why we say, I'll write that down rather than I'll type that down, because we remember it when we write it down. And with reMarkable Paper, we want to leverage all the benefits of handwriting, but in a way that is more fit for purpose for the digital world we live in. So that's all well and good, but does it make a difference? Well, when we compare handwriting and writing on a reMarkable to how people use PCs, for example, if you give them the same tasks on those two different devices, what we found is that users who use reMarkable experience 35% lower stress levels, a 25% increase in creative thinking, and 30% lower cognitive demand, meaning that the tasks take less mental effort for them to complete. And this is behind the complete ethos of using reMarkable. So with that, we've created a product to replace those notebooks and printouts with a digital device that feels just like writing on paper. We've created a space where there's no distractions, no notifications, no apps, to empower users to focus on one task at a time. We're focused on making the writing experience as close to the feeling of writing on paper as possible with our uniquely textured display, but at the same time keeping notes and documents organized using folders and tags to make them easy to search for later. This experience feels quite familiar to working on laptops. So using the benefits of the paper-like feel and experience, but the digital powers for organization. Things like copy, paste, move, resize, convert handwriting to text, they basically supercharge your note-taking, working more efficiently than just working on paper. And we get feedback from users and people out there all the time about how we compare to other devices that are out there. So what makes reMarkable different? So things like, yeah, but I can just write that on my tablet or my phone, or I like to read on my e-reader. We understand all of those concerns and all of that feedback, but the core difference here is the user experience. reMarkable is not designed to be one device that allows you to do it all. You're not able to check your emails or doom scroll for hours and get distracted. Our focus is to bring our users a space to focus, bringing all the benefits of paper into the digital age. So much like a paper notebook, reMarkable is a great companion device for your laptop. So when you're in store, the aim of the game is not to say, don't buy this instead. The idea is it's a companion device that allows you to have all your handwritten notes in one place. You don't need to retype them up later. It digitizes them all for you. So with that, let me introduce you to the reMarkable Paper Pro Move.
Introducing reMarkable Paper Pro Move, the digital notebook that goes where you go. Works the way you think. Feels just like writing on paper. Keeps everything in one place. So you can be there in the moment.
I've seen that video about 50 times. So yes, I'm very familiar with the voice there. So yeah, introducing the reMarkable Paper Pro Move. It's the latest in the lineup from reMarkable. When I first started working with reMarkable, there was a product. You talked about a reMarkable. Now we have a full portfolio of products. And this one sits in the Pro lineup. So it sits beside the reMarkable Paper Pro that launched last year, which you may be familiar with. So it shares the same features as the reMarkable Paper Pro, but it's small enough to fit in your pocket. Meaning you can have all your notes and all of your ideas with you at all times. Super easy to pick up, take some notes, put it down again. No matter where you are, you can catch your ideas as they come. And it allows you to just focus on being there. We've all experienced meetings where everyone's got their laptop out. It feels like a wall in between you and that person, and it's distracting. There's a barrier. It doesn't create an environment for creativity and good conversation. So think about people who are in those environments, but also worse than that, people who potentially like yourself who are in field-based roles. When you need a device that is easy to take with you, laptop maybe is not the ideal product for you to take with you. You're sitting or you're standing there in a store, or you could be literally in a field in some roles, or you jump in your car, you want to type up your notes. It's just not an ideal scenario. So the benefits of paper really shine here. But if you're working on a paper notebook, then you have to wait till you get to the office to type your notes up. You don't have to do any of that with reMarkable Paper Pro Move. As I mentioned, it sits in the Pro lineup. So this is what the lineup of reMarkable tablets looks like now. So we've expanded the product portfolio, focusing on how different customers will use their paper tablets. So no matter which paper tablet you're selling or talking about, they all have the same core benefits. Paper with digital powers, every note organized and easy to find, and they create a space for focused thinking. So the reMarkable 2 is a paper-like writing experience in black and white. We have the reMarkable Paper Pro, which is our most advanced tablet yet, which was launched last year, and the reMarkable Paper Pro Move, which helps you focus and move forward. So I've done enough presentation. Let me switch my camera. So you'll need to potentially pin my camera if you can. It should be on your screen in the top left-hand corner. But I've changed my camera to now focus in on a reMarkable Paper Pro Move. So I want to show you some features and demos, things that you'll be able to replicate when you're talking to people in the store. So this is the reMarkable Paper Pro Move. It should look quite familiar to you. It has a very similar ID to the reMarkable Paper Pro. The Marker Plus is exactly the same Marker Plus that you get with the reMarkable Paper Pro. Exactly the same product, with the eraser on the end here, with the carbon tip on here that's more durable. You place it on the side and you can see it charges up the Marker Plus. So the look and feel is very, very familiar. I'm going to open up a document. I'm just going to open up this one here. And I want to see if anyone can recognize that if anything looks or feels a bit different to what you're used to. Does anyone notice anything immediately that's different? If you do, feel free to unmute yourself and tell me, or put it in the chat. No? Well, I'll show you, don't worry. So with reMarkable Paper Pro and reMarkable 2, the toolbar is not all on the top. So one of the things with a different size, this is a 7.3 inch display, is typically you have your toolbar down the left-hand side here. And when you set the devices up, normally you're asked if you're left or right-handed, and that dictates where on the left-hand side or the right-hand side where your toolbar sits. Some new software that has came out and is actually now available on the other devices in the range allows you to not just choose whether you're left or right-handed, but it allows you to go, actually, I want to move this around. So when I tap on this icon here, you see a black bar appears at the top. I can then move this toolbar wherever I want. So I can have it on any of the screens I like. And you see when you move it, the black bar appears, and that's you choosing where you want to put it. And you'll see why. If you have it on the left-hand side here, it gate crashes a little bit. It gate crashes what you've got on here. So I'll keep it at the top for now. So within here, the toolbar will feel very familiar. You've still got your things like your writing tools. Oh, why is that not? There we go. Your writing tools. So you can pick from your writing tools here. So things like ballpoint pen, highlighter, calligraphy pen, that kind of stuff. They're all here. Your color choices as well, as choosing the thickness of your lines. Oh, what's going on? Let me just pair this again. So yeah, so in here you can do things like, oh, why on earth is that not? That's weird. So I've done countless numbers of demos and I've never had this problem, but for some reason the Marker Plus has decided to stop working. I've got a spare here. There we go. Good job I had a spare. So in here it allows you to choose your writing style. So I'm just going to choose the highlighter. And you can do things on this device that you have been able to do previously. So things like highlighting type text. If you press and hold on it, it will snap to the text. I'll do that here. If you don't press and hold on it, it won't snap to the text, but it will when you press and hold on it. I'm just going to add in as well today's date, 10th of September. Just why not? So in this document here, which I can send to you after this call, this will allow you to do your in-store demos. Same as before, if you want to move to the next page, you just slide across. It's a very natural feeling, like you're flipping the books of a page. This allows you to go through your document here. So the purpose of this document is to, if you imagine yourself as an interior designer, or you're designing the Serenity house, in here you've got a plan. And what I've actually done is I've created a layer on top of this document here. And inside layers, this allows you to add in new layers if you wanted to. So what I've done is I've added a layer on the top here, which is layer 3, which enables me to draw on this if I wanted to. I'm just going to add in some grass. And I'm actually doing that on purpose, where I've actually gone over this step here. And because this is on the top layer, the grass is the only thing on this top layer. So I'm able to flip the marker around and erase that, and it doesn't erase the stairs here because they're on a different layer. So you can do all this kind of stuff. You can build layers onto drawings if you wanted to. That's all tucked up in this menu here. So within there, that's where it sits. If you had your menu down the side here, they all appear down at the very bottom here. And actually layers is already here. Some of the other settings are down at the bottom here. But we're not going to do that. We're going to keep that all up at the top. So I'm not very good at drawing. So there's actually a finished one here. And within this, if this is the best drawing I've ever done, I'm going to pretend it's my own work. And I want to share this with somebody else. So in this menu here, we can share. And there are several options for sharing. So you can present with screen share. So you can have this to a connected laptop or desktop computer, a Mac or PC. And this allows you to get that on the big screen. You can send to Slack, which is something I'll tell you a little bit about later. Or you can send by email. And that's what I'm going to do here. So send by email allows you to add in an email address and it will send through to that email. I can add in my own recently used one here. I can add a message to that if I want, or I can just send it as is. This tells you what you're sending. So I'm sending specifically this page, and I can rename it, and I can choose how I'm sending it, whether a PDF or an image file. I can change to have it landscape or portrait, and I can also have it if I just want to have it in grayscale instead of color. So you can do all that in the send menu here. So as part of building this Serenity house or designing this Serenity house, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I need to do. So I need to send the measurements to the stonemason for some of the building work outside. I need to calculate how much flooring needs to be ordered for the new parquet flooring that's going in here. I need to discuss the connections with the electrician and plumber. Now I've actually already done that. So I'm just going to mark this one off in here. And the requesting the kitchen and bathroom fittings and discussing it with the customer. Now, I've not actually done that, and that's in a different document. So what this allows me to do is scroll down with 2 fingers from the top, and here you'll see your recents and your favorite documents in here. So recent and then favorite, and this is the document I'm looking for. I favorited this one already, and this has the kitchen fittings in it as well. So I've got the wall cabinets in blue, the pantry cabinets here in grey. I've just written them in, and the quantities here. It's not so easy to see in this. And the beauty of this Paper Pro Move is you can flip it around into landscape mode, and you get much more real estate. So things are zoomed in, and it's specifically designed to do this. You'll see the bevel at the bottom here. It allows you to hold on to it without having your finger over the screen. So it's done specifically, if you want that wider screen real estate, it's designed to do that. And then of course you can just use it in portrait mode as well, again. So that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the product. It has got things like things that you're used to, so things like the front light, which you don't really see until you kind of switch it off. But you can control that here, and you've got screen share built in as well. And if you wanted to, you could lock the aspect ratio of the device if you didn't want to flick between landscape and portrait mode. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that we quite frankly don't have time to look at today, but I'll go through some other features that are built into the device, and we'll talk about them in a bit more detail now. So Flipping back to the presentation that I have, is I want to talk about how these features and reMarkable devices fit into your workflow. So they're more than just a paper notebook. As I've described, they're a way to digitize everything. And the key to digitizing things and making it fit into your workflow is it needs to work with how you work. So how does reMarkable do that? Well, it starts, or can start, with the reMarkable app. So the reMarkable app allows you to easily pick up where you left off across all your devices that you already have. So users can take notes on a reMarkable device, open up their mobile phone or their laptop, and continue working on the app in potentially taking more notes and moving them into presentations or documents. If you want to review a document, you can import that onto your reMarkable device. This allows you to add handwritten notes, add them to the margins, rather than printing off things at scale. So imagine if you're a teacher, it's perfect for that. If you want to mark assignments, you can do all that on a reMarkable. Screen share, as I've kind of mentioned already, is a great way for users to share their content and kind of think of it like a digital whiteboard. You can annotate over the top and have things on a bigger screen. It's a great way to collaborate, and it's easy for you to share the content afterwards. And then last but not least, the app allows users to drag and drop notebooks, pages into folders, add tags, and group notes into one easy place. Very similar experience to how you're used to using a laptop for. That's all done through the reMarkable app. There's also integrations as well. So the key, as I've said, for implementing any new device into your workflow is ensuring it's able to talk to the other platforms that you need it to. So you're not having to double up by keeping some stuff here, some stuff there. It's all in one place. So to make that successful bridge between the analog writing experience and our digital needs, users can activate and access all their files from their favorite cloud storage, whether that's OneDrive, Dropbox, or Google Drive. You can feel confident when you're going into a meeting that your document or your presentation that you've got stored in your online storage, you can access it on your reMarkable without needing to take your laptop in with you. We've also got extensions. So users can install the Read on reMarkable extension into Google Chrome, which allows you with the push of a button to get all the articles and documents sent directly to your reMarkable device, which makes it more comfortable for reading than on maybe the device that you're looking at. You can also use the same in Microsoft Word and PowerPoint as well. And for enterprise customers, Send to Slack is a relatively new feature that came out a couple of software updates ago. And this allows you to convert your handwritten notes into editable content. So perfect if you use Slack as your sort of main workflow. You can write your notes on your reMarkable device, sketch up ideas, and simply send those ideas directly to the Slack channel, like I briefly showed you. It will automatically convert any of your handwritten notes into typed text, but it will also give you a screenshot of the canvas that it's written from. So it's perfect for sharing ideas, recapping, brainstorming sessions. And this is what it looks like on the device. And then when it comes through on your laptop, it will look like this inside Slack. So not super relevant for your average customer, but very relevant for somebody who uses Slack in their business. So that's a relatively new update. Some of the other things that have came through in the recent updates, so there's improved responsiveness on the device. So it just works a little bit faster. General improvements on how the UI works with you when you interact with it. Send to Slack, as I've just mentioned, and then something that may not be super relevant for everyone, but certainly if you speak German, it's very relevant. So the German system language is now available on reMarkable devices, which is something that people have been asking for a while. And customer feedback is super important at reMarkable. reMarkable genuinely listens to what people are looking for, and if there is an idea that is good enough, it will potentially come through onto the device. Some of the newer features that have came through in the latest updates are handwriting search, which allows you to search not just type notes for words, but also handwritten search as well. So if you've written a note up and you forgot to tag it, but you remembered that you use a particular title or you use a particular word in there, you can search for that inside your handwritten notes. The movable toolbar that I've just shown you as well is a relatively new feature. And also some changes to how documents can be formatted. So you can add in things like checkboxes, different levels of indentation, that kind of stuff. So the hardware obviously is set, and the good news is the software continually iterates to get even better over time. One of the things that enables customers to get even more from their reMarkable device is a Connect subscription. So Connect subscription brings reMarkable users some additional benefits that will elevate the way they use the paper tablet. Now, every reMarkable user gets 100 days free of Connect. That needs to be activated within the first 30 days of you creating your reMarkable account, which you're prompted to do when you set the device up for the first time. Then after that, there is a monthly fee that can be cancelled at any time that the user maybe doesn't want to use it anymore, but it's a monthly fee. And this gives them access to reMarkable methods, which we'll talk about a bit more in a second. It gives them the ability to create and edit in the reMarkable app on their laptop and on their phone. It gives them unlimited cloud storage. It gives them send to Slack, which I've just mentioned, and it also gives 3 years of reMarkable protection plan. So that's all included with your Connect subscription. But what are these things? So reMarkable methods is essentially, it's almost like an online marketplace where you can get templates, planners, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of user-generated content on there, and content directly from reMarkable themselves, which enables you to do other things for work, for your personal life, that kind of stuff. Stuff that is not built into the standard templates that come on a reMarkable. There's some really great stuff on there. There's an interactive calendar I use quite a lot, particularly for demos. And these are all available at methods.remarkable.com. But you don't need to have a Connect subscription for the device to work. There are certain things you can do with Connect and certain things you can do without. So handwritten conversion, you can do with or without Connect. That's actually done in the cloud, it's not done on device. So the only thing you need for handwritten conversion is to be online. There's third-party cloud storage that I've just mentioned that can be done with or without Connect. You can view your notes in the laptop or mobile app with or without without Connect. Screen share is also possible. But when it comes to cloud storage and sync, this is where the Connect subscription comes into its own. So you get unlimited storage with Connect. You get access to reMarkable methods. You can create in the app. So you can view in the app without Connect, but you can't create new notes without it. So you have to have a Connect subscription to do that. You can send Slack, as I mentioned, and you've got that 3 years of extra protection with the paper tablet. So in Canada, the cost for Connect is $4.99, $4.99 per month, or you can pay for it for the year, and it's just shy of $50, so $49.90 for the year. But everyone gets 100 days for free. So if we look at the lineup, what's the difference between these? Because there's now 3 products in the lineup. So the main benefits are the same across all products. So the paper-like reading and writing experience, all of your work organized in one place, syncing your notes across your different devices, and up to 2 weeks of battery life, as well as converting handwriting to typed text, they're available across the range. So whether you've got a reMarkable 2, a Paper Pro, or a Paper Pro Move, that experience is the same. Where things start to differentiate is the display size. So the reMarkable 2 is a 10.3-inch e-ink display, which is effectively monocolor, so black and white. So that's on a reMarkable 2. When you get a reMarkable Paper Pro, it's an 11.8-inch e-ink color display, which also has that front light to enable you for using your reMarkable in different lighting conditions. Same or similar technology that you get on the reMarkable Paper Pro Move, but in a smaller size screen. So it's a 7.3-inch display as opposed to an 11.8-inch. When you look at the thinness and weight of the devices, you might have noticed that the Paper Pro Move is actually the thickest of the devices. But that's because you have much less space to fit in the battery that enables you to have, up to 2 weeks battery life. So although it's slightly thicker, it's definitely not thick. It feels super comfortable, fits in your pocket, is nice and light as well at 230 grams, or just over half a pound. But really, these are designed for different use purposes. So reMarkable 2 is for the essentials. reMarkable Paper Pro is for professional, and then the reMarkable Paper Pro Move is for when you are on the go. I'm aware of time, so I'll go through this relatively quickly. But the bundles and accessories that you'll see in store and what the reMarkable Paper Pro and Paper Pro Move come in are essentially very similar to each other. So you have the markers. So you've got a marker and a marker plus. The main difference between the marker and the marker plus is you have a built-in eraser, which enables you to erase any mistakes you've just made. But they're more responsive, they're more durable marker tips than the previous version of the marker. So the marker plus is what comes in the bundle. So this is an available accessory, but also comes in a bundle. Then if a customer wants to personalize their device, they've got a choice of folio cases. So you've got the mosaic weave in a range of colors, fabric finish on there, polymer weave, and then you've also got premium leather as well. So these come in a range of colors, as you can see here. So the price is a $99 price tag for the polymer weave, which is the grey one in the middle, $149 for the mosaic weave, which is the choice of colors at the top, or $199 for the premium leather at the bottom, which comes in black or brown. That's for the Paper Pro Move. For the same portfolio cases on the Paper Pro, it's $149, $219, and $249. So they're the individual prices, but customers will be able to buy these as bundles. So the bundles look like this. So they're basically the same. So you can either buy the device with the Marker Plus, or with a Marker Plus and a folio, or with a Marker Plus and a book folio. Sorry, premium book folio, so the leather one, effectively. All bundles come with 6 additional marker tips and a USB-C to C cable. And these, I can send through the details of the pricing of these, but the reMarkable Paper Pro Move with Marker Plus starts at $799, $999 for the Paper Pro, $869 or $899 with the book folio, depending if you go for polymer weave or the mosaic weave that we see here. So that's $899 for that, or $1109 or $1149 for the Paper Pro. And then for the bundle that includes the premium, it's $949 or $1199 for the Paper Pro. Sorry, lots of numbers there. So apologies for that. But you have that detail and you know when you're in store. So one of the last things I want to talk to you about is, who is this designed for? Who are the customer demographics and use cases? Well, we've identified that there are 2 different use cases for the products and 2 different types of customer. So we've got the mobile professional and the desk worker. So the mobile professional is somebody who is often away from their desk. In a typical day, they move between meetings, they move between different locations, and they want to stay organized to be able to take notes on the go. This is probably you folks on the call. So it's important they have a way to still capture everything they need, as well as having that human connection and interaction without the distraction that you'd maybe get with a phone or a tablet. The reMarkable Paper Pro is ideal. Paper Pro Move, is ideal for this particular user, the mobile professional. And then we've also got the desk worker, so somebody who sits at home in an office and they use pen and paper as a tool or a method, and they want something to help them take notes, digitize them, and be more productive and organized. So this is ideal for the reMarkable 2 and the reMarkable Paper Pro. This is the ideal user for them. They're not so mobile, they're not on the go as much, they tend to be a bit more static. That's who the reMarkable 2 and the reMarkable Paper Pro are ideal for. So I haven't seen any questions come in to the chat, but we're not finished. I'm going to hand over to Sam in a second, who's going to take you through the installation. If any questions do pop up that I haven't covered, feel free to put them in chat and I'll try and answer them right at the very end. But before I finish, I want to say a couple of things. So I want to just do a quick recap on what we've covered. So, well, firstly, thank you for joining me and going through this. I know it's been relatively fast, but we've covered off the mission. So to empower our users for ways for better thinking through technology and to create better paper for better thinking. We've covered the products, how we offer different products for different people and different creative types. And then we've also covered off very quickly the range of accessories, the bundles, Connect subscription, and how to unlock the tablets and make full use of their potential. If you want to know more after this training, I will be sending out this deck, so you'll get that probably through Felix, who will share that with you. But you can also do your own online research as well. So on the reMarkable.com website, there are a whole ton of articles on there around support, FAQs. There's a whole wealth of knowledge on there. You might have your own learning platform that has additional content on here as well, but there is a learning hub and there's a YouTube page that has content on there provided by reMarkable. So feel free to check it out. Massive thank you from me. If you could do me a huge favor, I'd really appreciate it if you could scan this QR code, give a little bit of feedback on how that went, answer the questions honestly, and hopefully I've been able to move the needle a little bit and hopefully impart some knowledge onto you. I'm going to stick around for the next 15 minutes in case any questions do pop up that you might need me to answer. Please give me some feedback, and Sam, you might not be ready, but hopefully you are. I'll hand over to you to take control, and I'll stop sharing.
Don't worry, I'm ready. So everyone, I just want to stress that if you guys have questions for Callum right now, it's my knowledge you can reach out to me at any time. He won't be available at any time. So please send in questions at this point and we can get them answered. So I'm going to be going over the assembly for the new display. We're having our training video released. It should be sent out today, later today or early tomorrow, the full training video. Andrea's just putting it together for the final touches. So I'm really just going to go over some of the particulars about it right now, because we don't have time to do a full in-depth assembly for it. So let me just share. Okay, perfect. And you guys can all see this, I think. So very quickly, the first thing you're going to do when you go in after checking in is you're going to find the display that's been shipped to the store. It's going to be on a pallet. The store might remove it from the pallet, but it's going to be 3 boxes. They're going to be labeled 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. That's what you're going to be looking for. Each kit like this is also going to be come with a smaller box, which is going to be filled with this as its contents. So that's going to be a C-clamp security cable. That's what we put on the marker plus last time. The marker itself,